2015, my mother died in the fall of 2015. And, you know, I felt really untethered, I guess is the word. And I just didn't know what kind of help I needed. So I went back to a psychic school that I had taken some classes at, and I took an advanced class, a women's clairvoyant class that had to do with mysticism and healing. And this is a result of that. One morning, driving to work, I noticed that I felt so good in my body. Every cell was moving, every cell vibrating. I mean, I felt good from even above my head to below my toes. My entire auric field was vibrating. Is it the coconut oil in the coffee, I asked myself? The new protein drink that I had? The yoga? Or just a good night's sleep? I really don't know. I don't know, and I guess I don't care. I'm headed to the Drive, Chicago's LSD. I love Lakeshore Drive, and I feel blessed that I can appreciate it so much because it makes my commute so much better. I hit the turn signal, and I'm on, going south at Foster. Something I do most days, but today I feel the lake on the left side of my body. I mean, I really feel the energy of the water. I blink a few times. I take a deep breath, and I notice the water in the air. It's a beautiful morning mist. The blues, the grays. My eyes focus on the water droplets on the windshield. My fingers touch the smoothness of the steering wheel, my back against the leather seat, my toes wiggling in my boots. I hear the sound the car makes as we roll over the bumps. Yes, I am one with the car. I'm aware that I'm driving. Faint sunlight falls on my cheek, and I start to see pictures in my mind. Quick, like a slideshow. They're flashing in my eyes. I'm now navigating in two worlds. I'm driving, and I'm seeing pictures. Pictures of perceived failures. Failures and mistakes. Projects never finished. Businesses not managed well. Lovers who didn't know love. Decisions which moved my life in certain directions. I see another drop of water hit the windshield, and I notice the steady sound of the wipers. And suddenly, I'm sobbing. I'm in traffic. Cars with people in them are just feet away from me, and I don't care. They can see me, and I just don't care. I'm almost wailing now. I can't even believe the sounds coming out of my own body. So I pop out of my body, and I look at me, and I say, what is this? I sound like my mother did weeks before she died. It's probably neurological, the doctor said. Sundowner syndrome, the nurse said. Dementia. Yet, I would tap my mother on the shoulder and look at her and say, are you in pain? Does something hurt you? No, she would say. She would look directly at me, pause, and then start crying and crying again. It was a strong no. It was the same strength she had when she spit her pills out. Even crushed in yogurt, she would feel the little bits of the pills with her tongue and spit them out one by one, the little bits smashed in the yogurt. She was present and she was deciding. She did not want to continue taking her meds. She did not want to continue to decline. She did not want to continue. I take a deep breath and I'm back in my body. I'm sobbing even harder now. The traffic is crawling. I glance at myself in the mirror. Am I in pain? No, I'm really not in pain, but my heart center is vibrating. The heart, the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, the center of our own affinity for ourselves and others. My heart is vibrating and I'm crying, and I know I am not crying just for my mother right now. I'm crying for myself. I'm crying for how hard I've been on myself. I'm clearing that energy out of my body, releasing regrets, pain, punishment, karma. I see my mother again. She's crying. Could it be she was also clearing her pain and karma before she left? She was navigating in two worlds too. I saw it. I had that thought as I sat with her, as she stared at me and cried. Maybe she was seeing her perceived failures, her mistakes, the directions that those decisions took her life, and mine, and my sister's. She didn't have a lot of regrets, but she had doubts. Should she have left my father when my sister and I were still young? We could have avoided all the fights. Should she have let the grade school promote me? She held me back. It bothered her 35 years later. She doubted whether she made the right decision in holding me back. I'm back in the car now, and I touch the jacket in the front seat. It's her jacket. I brought it to give it to the homeless living under the viaduct. I hold the jacket with one hand, and I remember how I held my mother's frail hand at her last hour. I got the call at work. Her breathing has changed. Your mother's dying. I flew out of the office and into my car. I was an hour away, maybe less if I speed. Again, Lakeshore Drive, this time going north. I'm calling out loud to my mother, Mom, wait! Wait for me, I'm on the way, wait! And I know that she heard me. In the house, the caregiver moves out of the way. I light a candle. My mother loved candlelight. She got married at night, so candlelight could light her path up to the altar. I turn on some music, and I start to talk to my mother. I tell her that soon she'll see her brothers, and she'll dance with them. She loved to dance when she was younger. And I tell her that soon she'll see her mother. My mother, at 94 and a half years old, still broke out in tears every time she talked of her mother's death. So these were her last moments, and I took a breath so that I would be present, totally present. I picked up her hand. The music starts going on and off. The lights were flickering. I look around and I know I'm not the only presence in the room, but I don't care. I stroke my mother's hand. You did everything right. You did everything right. The words fell out of my mouth. I don't know where they came from. They weren't premeditated, but now I'm so glad. I am so glad those were some of the last words that I said to my mother. I take a deep breath. I'm back in my body. I'm in the car. The sobbing has stopped. It must be the healing, I think. I had a healing that morning. Heal the spirit, heal the body. I feel the body and the energy around me. The cement buildings on my right, the masculine energy of the city of Chicago, the water of the lake to my left, the feminine, and me navigating down the middle, as Buddha said, as Jesus taught. The left, the right, the central, the energy body of the human system, the male, the female, the divine. It's all coming together for me now. I come out of the curve on Lakeshore Drive, and there she is to my left, the giant wheel on Navy Pier. A huge circle on the lake, surrounded by sky, a symbol of totality. I love the wheel, and I know that all is well every time I look at her. I turn the radio on for background music to my visuals. I look at the car to my left. It's an Uber driver with a woman in the back seat. She's on her cell phone. He sits silent, looking straight ahead. I look at my right. It's a woman in an SUV. Her hand holds a phone on the steering wheel. She's texting and driving. And at this moment, they are oblivious to the beauty of the drive. They could be on the Eisenhower. They could be on the Dan Ryan, 90-94. It doesn't matter. They're not aware. And they're not aware of me. And it's probably best that way, because they might think I'm not capable. They might think I'm out of my mind if they knew what was going on in here. But I am capable. I'm very capable. I am awareness driving. And now the Field Museum is in front of me. A building that itself is a place in history. A building that is a house to so much history, and I am that too. A house of history, a temple, a vessel, keeper of the stories from my life, this life, and from others. It can get heavy though, and we can choose what to carry. Beliefs, traditions, rituals. My grandmothers broke traditions. Widows wearing bright colors, they lived with joy. My mother broke traditions. Cremated instead of buried. She's free from the walls. She stepped out of the game. I don't need to carry the pain of my ancestors either. The heavy chains of loyalty to the tribe, it can be replaced with love of the divine. How much does a soul need to carry anyway? The tears have washed away my makeup. I feel cleansed, refreshed. My ride is over. I'm pulling into the parking lot now. I put the car in park and I step out. Snowflakes are falling. They are wet and they're beautiful, and right now I love them. And right now I love me. I open the lobby and I say, buzz me in, I'm here. And I run up the stairs. I see my supervisor at her desk. She has a cross on her desk, icons next to her children and her family. She's a lovely woman, and I totally respect her beliefs. I see the two daughters that work for their father in the office. They want their father's approval, but he won't give it to them. It'll never be enough. He's following his traditions, and he doesn't even believe in them. He's stuck. His energy's in the patriarchy. He can't move out of it. His shoulders are like this, 2 inches above where they should be. He's tense all the time. I feel bad for them. He thinks he's setting an example for his daughters. They know that I don't fit in the position they gave me at the company. They said so themselves. You're very loyal, though, they said, and you have heart. We'll find a place for you. They considered me part of the tribe, and it felt good. Later that night, we danced at the employee party. We danced a circle dance, the way that Greeks do. And the father stood up, and the daughters joined him. And the youngest daughter just trying to be so perfect. And I wish I could tell her, like, smoke a joint, have a drink, do something. Like, you don't have to be that perfect. He's never gonna notice. But she was just trying to do the dance perfect. And the younger daughter looking for her father's approval. My supervisor got up, just a lady of grace. She's Greek, and she could be up there with him. None of the Latino workers dared to get out of their seat. They could feel the boundary. It was for Greeks only. My supervisor called me up. I'm Greek. I'm half Greek. I mean, I'm all Greek, but I don't speak Greek. So if I go to Greece, they don't really think I'm Greek, which is terrible because they talk about me and I can understand it, but I can't speak anything out. I get up and I dance with them. The circle feels good. It's secure. It's my history. It's my culture. I fit, kind of, in this tribe. My supervisor's holding my hand and she's smiling at me. I pop out of my body again. I'm seeing rituals. I'm seeing myself on the island of Crete. I know I was there with the Minoans. I know that I was there. I was a potter. I was a queen. I was probably a whore too. I was there. I know it. I went there. I felt all my cells vibrate when I was there. I pop back in my body and I'm dancing. It feels good. I look like I know what I'm doing. I look at the father. He's breathing heavily. He's about to sit down. I look at him again and I realize I'm 2 years older than him. I'm huffing and I'm puffing and I want to sit down too, but I can't. I can't let them know my pride is there. I've got that pride. My boots are so fucking heavy. I can't believe I didn't kick them off. And sweat is pouring down my face. But still, I can't leave the circle. And it's closed though. It's not open. And I want it to be open. And I look over at the Jewish lady who works in the office with me and I say, come on up. Come on up. It's just like Hava Nagila. Come on up. And she's nervous. She doesn't know if she should join the circle, but she does. And I let her in and we dance. And the music's going and I'm huffing and puffing. The father sits down and the daughter is still perfect. She is leading. And then I realized, even though it feels safe, even though they'll take me, I'll never have to find another job in my life. They told me that. But the circle was closed. And then, do you know what happened? I let go. Thank you very much.